And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to the Cobourg Community Center once again here on Sunday evening, I guess it is, here in Cobourg, Ontario. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there as we celebrate along with you, the lacrosse dads that make the sacrifices to make sure all of our kids get to the rinks on time, as I'm sure the players from both Cobourg and Brooklyn wish they could do the same. A number of scratches on both sides tonight, but we're going to get a good look at the two teams that played to a 14-12 final in favor of Brooklyn just a few nights ago down the street in Whitby. Our opening face-off is underway, and we have Cobourg Nissan Kodiaks Lacrosse and Major Series Lacrosse here on the JVI Sports Network. Once again, glad to have you aboard. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Matthew Carrick alongside our crew as the initial shot there from, I believe, I was going to say Rowan Kelly on the far side, but that's the 37 of Luke Laskowitz. First look at him for the home crowd here this year. Played his first game of the season on Wednesday night. Again, part of that 14-12 victory for Brooklyn. And by all accounts, it was Cobourg that probably should have taken that game. Looking for revenge here tonight. Nearly a full complement, I would say, for the Kodiaks as they go to Kevin Orleman in the net. They are wearing their black unis with the white lettering and going left to right here in the opening period. They're without John St. John, Nick Finley, Dan Lomas, Chad Cummings, and Matt Croak of the normal roster. Cutting to the net is number 13. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Kluche in the lineup. Landed in Toronto from Denver at about 3:15 local time and arrived about 40 minutes before the game here at 6 p.m. local time after his 8-point 4-goal performance last night in Denver over the Florida launch in Major League Lacrosse. A shot there from the outside bounces off the head of Colton Armstrong before going up out of play. And the Brooklyn Redmen, a low sidearm shot on the run there from John LaFontaine. No Jordy Jones-Smith, get ready. We'll get back to that as down the floor, though, the shot from Derek Searle as Joey Capito led the way. The other night, I believe it was a 6-point performance for Capito. He is the captain, and he does lead a transition as he's been working hard for the last couple years. Now a good compliment around him. Kluche looking to the far side. That bounces away from Laskowitz into the stick of Zach Higgins, who will pick up and send it down the floor. John Cheeseborough backing up Higgins tonight. DeRuccio backing up Orleman for the Kodiaks. Big whack in the middle of the house. The officials allow that to go on. Blair Ferguson, Andrew Ecclestone for the other team, black on the floor. For Brooklyn, no Jordy Jones-Smith. Graham Hossack will wear number 4 tonight. No Riley O'Connor, Chris Corbeil, Austin Shanks. Jordy Jones-Smith, is in the lineup wearing number 11. No Dan Lintner, Ryan Keenan, Curtis Knight, Kyle Rubish, Mike Poulin, Adrian Soroketti, Mark Matthews. So the Saskatchewan complement missing as they were most of the beginning of the season for the Brooklyn Redmen. 3 minutes gone in the first period here, first of 3:20s if you're new to Major Series. And already the fans trying to inspire their team here on home floor, looking for their first win of the season. Still are the Kodiaks. Darryl Robertson posturing up far side there. Mitch McMichael, a weak shot. Did not get on target, so the shot clock continues to tick down at 2 now as cutting to the net. Keenan Cook does get there. Orleman the save, though, to reset. And the Kodiaks grab the rebound. Campbell into the corner. Kluche, he'll go to the right side now. We're backpedaling. I believe that was either Robertson or Tyler Albrecht. And Higgins had two players down the floor looking for the breakaway, and Higgins banks it off the scoreboard. Looked skyward after the fact. Laskowitz in all alone. He hits the post. Kluche, he'll get an attempt, and he scores. Make it 5 goals in about 10 hours for this young man, as he was on fire last night in Denver as well. Guess a bit more than that. At 10:30 local time start, 7:30 Mountain Time. So the hot stick for Kluche makes it 1-0 here for the Kodiaks. Catch in the middle by Tchaikovsky. He'll shovel it back all the way up top. LaFontaine tries to cut a corner. Push back to Tchaikovsky, though. Falling, he takes a shot. It goes wide. It's off the glass before the shot clock expires. Another shot clock here early against the Redmen, as the Kodiaks defense coming to play on home floor tonight. Crowd that is small but mighty inside the Cobourg Community Center as 3 Redmen break out, and a missed opportunity as Brody Tutton couldn't corral it. A shove after the fact by Doug Utting, though, hands the ball back to the Redmen as it looked like the Kodiaks were about to head back up floor, led by Pete Rennie. This gets the offensive unit back out there, as Brooklyn has it far side. A couple of stutter steps from Mitch McMichael. Rennie on him, and the extra shove from Rennie gives Brooklyn yet another reset. And Tchaikovsky will go outside. Slash on the far side goes without a call, as Hutchison will send it down the floor. Dylan Hutchison. Kluche quickly there, though, the one hand. To send it back up top for Kyle Killen. Capito was waiting for the highlight reel goal. He had a couple of them look just like that last night. And trying the one hand, the backhand shovel now. Past Higgins. Capito trying to make it spectacular in front of the net. And unfortunately beat by the clock there. It remains 1-0 off the goal from Kluche. Here in our first period, we've played 6.5 minutes. Keenan Cook from the top was looking for Tchaikovsky. It bounces off a pair of panes of glass. And on the wrong side, Rowan Kelly racing in. He scored his first MSL goal on Wednesday night. So our congratulations to the former member of the Toronto Beaches on that accomplishment. Up top for Tyler Albrecht now. For Kluche. A low riser of a shot that hits the chest of Higgins, resetting the shot clock. Quick stick opportunity into the corner. They're looking for Laskowitz. And a stick check on the defender. It leaves the Redmond player's stick and goes up over the glass. And that turns into a souvenir. Kluche again. Lomas and Finley were in the lineup on Wednesday. And it looked like a pretty good offense at 100% for this Cobourg team. Something we really haven't been able to say the past couple of years. Since moving to Cobourg, even the last few seasons in KW. Probably since Ryan Benesh was there. now with the Oakville Rock. Cobourg with 3 games in 7 days. As Kluche takes another shot, that one just wide. On to the crease, 15 on the shot clock. They'll pull all the way out and up top for Killen. As we said, the crowd, small but mighty. Trying to urge their home side on now. Way late in the clock. Killen, double team all over him, and Matt Spanger. The last one there just before the shot clock violation. And the boisterous crowd here tonight will have to wait at least one more possession. Kelly up top, playing defense into the corner. Tchaikovsky now, his low shot gets through. And Nick Tchaikovsky has tied this up. Accepting the pass there from John LaFontaine. And already getting a look at those two on offense on the right side. Early and often here in the game for Brooklyn. That makes it 1-1. About 8.5 minutes gone in our first period. Scrum draw there as Searle was able to push it back to his defense. Derek Searle, former Rochester Nighthawk player. Hidden ball play here between Laskowitz and Kluche. Laskowitz has it, gives back for Kluche now. Another low shot that hits that rises. Looked like it may have caught the shoulder of Higgins, but no reset. Now there is. As Killen's shot saved. Killen gets another opportunity, but then shoved through the crease. So the Kodiaks will go back to work. Brandon Robinson in the corner. Kluche turns back. What a move by Killen to break free and forcing Higgins into the splits, but the shot was well wide. Here's Robinson for Kluche. He gets shoved to the floor. Still hangs on to the ball. Still gets a shot away, does Kluche. Oh, my. We've seen a couple times this season that he's been in the lineup just 2 games before this evening, including Wednesday. The offense really settling down when he's here. And you add, as I'm sure they will eventually, Dan Lomas to that mix. Only 1 goal to speak of so far for the Kodiaks, though. 1 for Brooklyn as we're halfway through our first period. Sean Derrock now getting it back to the righties. On the wrong side, Keenan Cook. So this is going to be a lot of work done by LaFontaine. I don't think the Kodiaks realize that Cook was on the wrong side. That one just dumped into the corner as a shot clock about to expire. Orleman screaming for too many men as there was a late defender, late offensive player scampering to the bench with 5 D-men already out there. And Cobourg squanders that possession as the ball rolls into the corner. Tchaikovsky, the lone goal scorer so far for Brooklyn. High pass for Cook. Immediately on him, Searle. A number of chops there. Also missing from that Brooklyn bench as we look over the majority of their coaching staff. Derek Keenan, Brad MacArthur. Gil Neuendijk, the only coach. Joined by the training and equipment staff. Bad angle shot from Laskowitz into the feet of Higgins. Higgins will push up towards his bench. And now Eric Gold, who wears number 32, will slow things down. Near side for Tchaikovsky. Interception, Capito, and he's got wheels. Here he comes down the floor, takes a slash, and then a shot. Now Higgins going to go for a run. Higgins stops before the face-off restrainer. Been a while since we've seen that in the box game. Played back near side. Shot from LaFontaine. Save made by Orleman. Rebound picked up by Doug Utting, though, and Doug Utting takes it deep into the offensive zone. Shot there from Robertson. It just rolled out the back of his stick as he was about to release. And that takes the shot clock down under 10 seconds. Robinson throws it towards the goal, and Higgins will hang on to the rebound to allow Cobourg to return. Once again, we thank everybody for tuning in live and on demand. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter at JVI Video. Some Junior A up on the channel this week. Couple Burlington Chiefs games. St. Catharines Athletics and the Mimico Mountaineers. Here's Kluche, another shot as Higgins makes the save. The Burlington Chiefs now atop the Junior A standings, but here come Brooklyn, 4-on-1, and Orleman, the last one there, makes the save. The one back was Luke Laskowitz, normally straight offensive player. As now Brooklyn will set up again, taking the time to get proper change in. Tchaikovsky, LaFontaine to the far side, trying to find Holden. Garland cutting through. Garland will kick it into the corner, and Capito will wait out the shot clock. While the rest of his line mates go to the bench for a change. Under 6 to play. Period number 1 here in Cobourg. As Kluche pushes to the far side now. A cut on the run. A bounce shot there from Albrecht. And I believe Zach Higgins wants a water break. So we'll take a quick timeout. Higgins actually asking for tape as he walks away. Our YouTube chat, as always, open for those who are viewing live. We say hi to all of our live viewers on Twitter at JVI Video, as we said. Cobourg with 2 games this weekend, including today against Brooklyn. They travel to Six Nations on Tuesday. Tomorrow night in Major Series, Brampton in Oakville. Six Nations going back-to-back this week as they then, after hosting Cobourg on Tuesday, travel to Brooklyn on Wednesday. And then Thursday, the only matchup Thursday, Peterborough hosting the Brampton Excelsiors. Doug Utting runs under this errant ball. He gets taken out of the play after the shot, but Higgins did hang in there for the save. As now from up top, it's pushed back into the corner. Crowd again starting to come to life as Kluche shovels one towards Higgins. That's on target to reset the clock. Kluche to Drake Smith looking to return. And close, but not quite for Robinson. Now Laskowitz picked out of the crease. And an interference call against Jordy Jones-Smith. We'll give the Kodiaks another opportunity with under 5 to play. Drake Smith in front. Kluche now fighting for the loose ball. And too much in the crease with Higgins' stick there. So Brooklyn heading for a change. The give and go before the final shot off the crossbar. Brody Tutton flattened there by Searle. But it did hit, as we said, off the crossbar before going out of play, so the Brooklyn will retain possession. Tutton up top, trying to get around Hutchison. Passes off for Mitch McMichael. McMichael's shot wide off the end glass, and here's Capito again up top. They're streaming out the defensive door, though, on that Brooklyn bench. So Capito will wait for a couple offensive players, led by Killen, then Robinson, now Laskowitz. Albrecht to the near side, backing into the corner. They look to return to Robinson again. Another errant pass picked from the boards by Laskowitz. And his shot ends up off the boards. .320 to play. McMichael straight down the pipe, race for it down the floor. Cook will get there first. Tips off his stick into the crease. The Cobourg bench wants the back in call. Andrew Ecclestone will not oblige as he shot from the lefty. Eric Gould skips its way into Orleman. 3-minute warning as Drake Smith steps onto the floor. Laskowitz, Smith, down into the corner. Killen now up top for Kluche. All five touch it now as it's put into the corner. Dancing back in front, the shot off the foot of Higgins by Connor Goodwin. And now Kluche will chase the rebound. But he runs out of space as it bounces into his team's bench. Kluche with the opening goal. Tchaikovsky would answer, and Killen gets another one to make it 2-1. Just recapping the scores, and on cue, Kyle Killen. The shot off the left arm of Higgins. He got a bit, but not enough. As it continued rolling into the back of the net. A 2-1 lead now for Cobourg. As I was saying, Kluche with the first. Tchaikovsky responded for Brooklyn. And now Kyle Killen with the response. Robinson trying to feed Laskowitz. It bounces away from him. Drake Smith with it. Robinson in the middle finds Goodwin. Goodwin, I believe, looking for Laskowitz in the corner. And this one's going to hop into the Brooklyn bench. Tchaikovsky. They switch it up and go with Matt Spanger now on the right side, as opposed to LaFontaine. As we said, short bench. We were given a list of 18 guys, but definitely not full complement for Brooklyn here this evening. As quickly up the floor into the corner for Kluche. He goes around the back. As Drake Smith will look to the left side of the floor. Kluche steps around a defender and rips one towards the net. It went wide, though, so shot clock will continue to tick down here as Orleman will fire it down the floor for another shot clock violation. 1 minute remaining here in the first period. 1 goal lead for the Cobourg Kodiaks. Jordy Jones-Smith now up offensively. John LaFontaine bounces off a defender in the middle. LaFontaine will get it back. LaFontaine up top. All over him, though, Rowan Kelly. And now to the far side, low shot by Tutton. Bounces for Steph Charbonneau. Hard pass intended for Capito. Bounces away. And Higgins had a bit of trouble with it. Look out here as big hit nearly by Patton. Utting there to clean it up. Orleman asking if they want him to come to the bench. Kelly and Capito down floor, and Kelly a couple of fakes. Ran himself out of space. 10 seconds remaining here in the first period. Brooklyn not sure what to do with it as they go to the far side first. Here's Cook. He pushes it down low, 2, now 1, and Cook is going to run out of time as he sends it back up top. And the Cobourg Kodiaks will lead 2-1 after the first period of play. Chris Kluche getting things started again. Arriving back on Canadian soil in Toronto less than 3 hours before game time. Made the drive from the airport here to Cobourg. Arrived about half hour before game started. He's now got 5 goals in the last 24 hours in the game of lacrosse. Nick Tchaikovsky with the response for the Brooklin Redmen before Kyle Killen, just before the period ended, firing one off the arm of Zach Higgins. That gives us a 2-1 score. We'll take a quick break and be back with JVI Sports Network's coverage of Major Series Lacrosse and Cobourg Nissan Kodiaks Lacrosse here on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll be right back. 2-1 lead for the Kodiaks after one period of play. We get you set for period number 2. Now in the net, down into our end of the rink, Zach Higgins, who allowed 2 goals to Chris Kluche, Kyle Killen. And yes, as someone said in the chat room, Kluche is wearing number 13 as opposed to number 45. Those of you who are fans of the American field game and the Denver Outlaws, it is the same Kluche, just wearing number 13 for the Kodiaks, who go right to left here in this second period. There's Killen working to the far side. Kluche takes a low shot, rolling into the corner. Picked up by Liam Osborne, who brings it in for the first offensive possession of the period. Jordy Jones-Smith ending up with the shot on Kevin Orleman, the goaltender of the Georgia Swarm. If I'm not mistaken, his third NLL team. Was originally drafted by the Buffalo Bandits, then was in Rochester Nighthawks camp before finding a home in Georgia. Low shot from Kluche, rolled around in the crease. Higgins on a bounce to the front door. What a pass there, but great recognition by the defense of the Kodiaks as they come streaming out the front door. Those of you who have not been to a game here in Cobourg yet, we obviously encourage you to do so. It is air conditioned, which is good as there's a heat advisory for the GTA. Oh, quick shot there from Eric Gold. Nearly caught the arm down of Orleman as Capito is now down the floor. But benches on opposite sides here, which we've seen confuse some teams in the past. Iroquois Sports Park, where Whitby plays, they are the traditional configuration on the near side. So this second period, quick offensive change for Brooklyn, but quick defensive change also for Whitby. Low shot by Albrecht goes wide, bounces off a couple boards before it's picked up far side. Killen wants it up top. Not going to get it, though. So he'll go into the middle and then accepts the pass. But it was behind him from Connor Goodwin. And he stumbled before finding the inside of the crease. 2.5 gone in our second period. As a low shot comes here from Mitch McMichael. Bit of discussion off camera on the Brooklyn side of things. A low shot from Darryl Robertson gets into the stick of Higgins, and then he's forced into another quick stick save from Charbonneau, who intercepted his clearing attempt. Another interception now for Colton Armstrong. And the hat dance was on over on the Brooklyn bench as defensive players weren't sure if they were supposed to come off. Offensive players weren't sure if they were supposed to go on. All of that happening with only about 2 players on the floor for Brooklyn. Now back for Laskowitz. Around his back, Albrecht, and all those interceptions amount to nothing more than a shot clock violation here against Cobourg. Tchaikovsky to the corner. And we were wondering if this was actually John LaFontaine, who now passes to Keenan Cook. So double checking the game sheet, and that's what he's listed as, number 33. So that's what we're going to go with until told otherwise. Shot clock violation now against Brooklyn. It's about their 3rd or 4th of the evening. That's a lot of players with this short bench having to play out of position. Low shot from Kluche in on Higgins. He handles the rebound and will quickly flip it to Holden Garland. A graduate of the defending Minto Cup champions Six Nations Arrows last year. And a draft pick of the Brooklyn Redmen. McMichael directing traffic, collapses in on defense. Doug Utting with the takedown. Liam Patton's going to lead the charge down the floor. Patton all alone. His shot goes just past the left arm of Higgins. But Hutchison quickly there. Kluche had joined the rush down the floor, and Kluche plays diversion for Laskowitz coming off the bench. And his shot in on Higgins, who briefly wasn't sure where it was, but now the defense there to pick it out of the crease. Strong play in this second period so far for Cobourg in terms of extended pressure. As of yet, unable to come away with anything to show for it. 5 on the shot clock here for Gold and the Redmen. As his low shot is handled by Orleman. Over 5 gone now in the period. Goodwin. Up top, Drake Smith will send one past Higgins. Where did it go? Higgins and the official were all looking for the ball. Higgins thought it had ended up in his pads, but it was caught in the equipment of Chaykowski as he made his way up the floor. But how about the shot from Drake Smith? Yes, from that Smith family, the younger brother of Dane, the Buffalo Bandits and Six Nations Chiefs superstar. As here's Kluche at center. Smith looking in the middle for Killen. He's got a goal already tonight. As Drake Smith now joins Killen and Kluche as the goal scorers for the Kodiaks. Killen trying to get another one. Now another strip from Laskowitz. Killen. Robinson. Far side. Bit of a high check there on Robinson. Robinson into the corner. Crowd wooing along with our PA announcer. They missed it on the first couple goal calls, but now the Cobourg fans starting to get back into this game. Quick off the shot clock. Launch down the floor. Brody Tutton finds the man out the front door. Slowly now, Mitch McMichael. And you imagine this will be the game plan for Brooklyn to keep things outside and control the pace when they can. Although it's intercepted, and then a high hit there in the corner. Colton Armstrong brings it up. And the arm is high for Andrew Ecclestone. We'll get our first penalty of the game. It will be to Brooklyn. But first, Cobourg going 6-man set. In the corner, Kluche. He's going to try and go over top. Brief look at the net. Goes to Killen instead. His shot off the body in front. I believe it was Garland. And it'll be Eric Gold headed to the penalty box here for Brooklyn. They call it a hook coming out of the corner. As we've played 7 minutes and 36 seconds here in the second period. Kluche. He gets top spot here on the power play. Laskowitz. Back for Kluche. Oh, what a shot. Kluche's second of the night on the power play is a thing of beauty. That low rising shot from up top. His second of the night gives the Cobourg Kodiaks a 4-1 lead. And he's now got 6 goals in 2 time zones, 2 cities, 2 leagues, and 2 countries in the past 24 hours. I know we keep going back to it, but we just sort of assumed, looking at the schedule last night and what happened in Denver and what time it happened at, that there was no shot Kluche would be in the lineup. Perhaps maybe next week when Denver gets an afternoon game in Ohio, as Laskowitz shoots wide, but this one's going to bounce down the floor as there's a race for it as Ryan McSpadgen gets back. Kodiaks launching it into the corner as shot clock was about to expire. But it was Kluche that reached out to the team and said, I'm on my way home if you need me. And the Kodiaks accepted, and now he's rewarded them with, or thanked them, I guess, with a 2-goal performance. Capito had thoughts of breaking down the floor, realized numbers weren't going to be in his favor, so allows, Daryl Robertson to take lead. In the corner, Armstrong on his man. That pass skips wide, and Steph Charbonneau was about to pick it up, thought better of it as the shot clock was about to expire against the Brooklyn Redmen offense. If you're joining us late, a number of the NLL regulars not in the lineup tonight for the Redmen, including Riley O'Connor, Chris Corbeil, Austin Shanks, Dan Lintner, Ryan Keenan, Curtis Knight, Kyle Rubish, Adrian Soroketti, and Mark Matthews. So a short bench as Laskowitz takes the shot. Higgins stumbles, but does keep the ball underneath of him and, more importantly, away from the goal line. Kodiaks without John St. John, Nick Finley, Dan Lomas, Chad Cummings, Matt Croak tonight. After both teams had basically a full complement on both sides on Wednesday evening. A game that Brooklyn won 14-12. Wide bounce shot there from Brody Tutton. Looks like Brooklyn may have found a couple players since the beginning of this game. They started with only about 13, but few late arrivals, it looks like. Here's Laskowitz. Low shot there from Kluche. Chases his own rebound. That never makes it out of the crease. Down the floor. Spanger. Matt Spanger picks the corner. And it's 4-2 in favor of the Kodiaks. Fans of the JVI Sports Network will recognize the name Matt Spanger from a couple of years of winter coverage that we've done here. The, I believe, Wilfrid Laurier product in field. Very much a transition player here in box. I'm still a bit disappointed that he's cut his hair. He used to look faster when the locks were flowing out from underneath the helmet there. Brooklyn's found a coach as well, it looks like, on the left side, Brad MacArthur. Was one of those that weren't here at game time. There's a problem, there's an issue with the game sheet, it looks like, as Andrew Ecclestone will run it over. I wonder if MacArthur's not on it. Again, we double-checked, or at least tried to double-check the game sheet as much as we could in that first intermission break. But again, only looking for a couple of specific players, so I'm really not sure what this was about, unless they found a number that is not on the sheet, somebody that may have assisted on that goal, but it looked pretty standard. As Spanger took the pass from Higgins. Listed as the backup goaltender is John Cheeseborough, who I don't see on the bench. Yeah, I have no idea what they might be looking at here on the game sheet, but we remind you that our next live Cobourg Kodiaks broadcast comes next Sunday. The Oakville Rock will be here in Cobourg. That's a 6 p.m. start. If you're in the area and we've got a coach that comes from London, Ontario, and a number of players who come from the Kitchener-Waterloo region. So in the Cobourg area is a loose term, we might say. We encourage you to come down to the Cobourg Community Center for that one. But if not, you can join us here on the JVI Sports Network, a 6 p.m. start next Sunday. Whatever's been challenged on the game sheet has not resulted in any further action from Brooklyn or the officials. Spanger from Higgins, the call of the goal to make it 4-2. Rowan Kelly, that shot into his body. Pass, rather, from Capito. Capito had thoughts of chasing it into the corner, but McSpadgen's there. Eric Gold. Looking for a player off the bench. Turning on the Jets is Liam Osborne. He gets stopped in his tracks. It's now Tchaikovsky with the pick. Return near side, Tutton. Intercepted on the return pass, and Charbonneau takes flight. And that one will go behind Higgins. Just trying to check the number there to see if it was a 17 or an 11. Either Patton or Charbonneau. And indeed it is. Steph Charbonneau. They ask for the ball, so I believe that is his first goal as a member of the Kodiaks. He was a draft pick of the Kodiaks this year. That could be his first MSL goal as well. And it makes it 5-2 for the Kodiaks, who have held the lead nearly the entire game. Briefly, we were tied 1-1 for about 7 minutes. That tie broken up by Kyle Killen. And the Kodiaks, as we said early on in this period, have been rolling. They try to go again. Yes, they do. As I believe that's Brandon Robinson down on the crease. Make it 6-2 now in favor of the Kodiaks as Cobourg are rolling here in the second period. And now Searle back to the face-off dot against Garland. Wins it back for Charbonneau. And Liam Patton will bounce it to the front door where Kluche will try and keep the momentum on the home side. Drake Smith with it. Tyler Albrecht back for Kluche. He was looking to return the pass to Robinson almost the entire way. Rebound off the shoulder of Higgins into the corner, where it's picked up by Sean Derrock and brought up over center. Derrock still with it. Flips it into the face-off area, where Mitch McMichael will run over the top. McMichael, 10 on the shot clock. Doug Udding, briefly stripped. Now Udding will knock down McMichael, and I believe a cross-checking penalty. coming here to Doug Utting. I wasn't sure if it was going to be check from behind or cross-check, and it is the illegal cross-check, which is just 2. I believe the check from behind is still 4 minutes, as we are under OLA rules. But Brooklyn setting up, walking out of the corner. Gold shoveled it towards the net. Orleman has that go off his knee. McMichael falls. That allows Killen with it over his back, and it bounces in. I don't know if that ever touched Higgins. Couple bounces, and Higgins calls for a water break after the shorthanded goal from Killen. Extends the Kodiak lead to 5 now. 22 seconds into the man advantage. Kyle Killen with his second of the game. He's short-handed marker now. What an addition Killen has been to this Cobourg offense. Coming over in the deal that sent Corey Small in his return to Ontario to the Peterborough Lakers. Killen Finley in a draft pick, if I'm not mistaken. Along with Corey Small, whose Ontario rights were carried over from when he played with the then Kitchener-Waterloo Kodiaks. Trade that worked out pretty good for both sides, as Small fitting in nicely with the Peterborough Lakers. Power play sets up again. Bouncer Keenan Cook was looking towards the right foot there of Orleman, and it just bounced wide. Power play unit all the way back to center to recover. Shot in on Orleman, knocked him down. But it is recovered. Into the corner. Now with 15 on the shot clock. To the far side, a low shot there. Reaching for it is Orleman on the Osborne shot. And now Kodiaks with 40 seconds left in their penalty. Will bring it up over center. Laskowitz to Killen. Killen with 2 on the night to Robinson. To Kluche from the boards. Kluche's shot off Higgins, resets the clock. Kluche the first one into the corner. 5.5 left here in the second period. As Kluche grabs it away from Ethan Schott. Couple slashes towards Kluche. Kluche gets shoved and shoved into the Brooklyn player who was going for the loose ball, and they call that against Kluche. It was long enough to end the Utting penalty, though, so he rejoins the defense. As Cook sends it to the crease where the shot comes. Tchaikovsky and Rennie. Brief few words for each other. Cobourg looking for their first win of the season. And if they can get it, they'll actually leapfrog the Six Nations Chiefs and sit tied with Brampton. The season opener, a 12-12 tie between Brampton and Cobourg right here. Game that you can check out on our channel. As the Redmen will set up again. Darroch spins out of the corner, where it's returned back. Cook, great move to find space. And the shot ended up in the feet of Orleman. He kept it in the crease. And then Cook reaching for it. Draws the crease violation. 4 minutes left in our second period. It's a 5-goal lead for Cobourg. Kluche has it back. Pass, I believe, was intended for Albrecht on the crease. But it's going to be McSpadgen leading a 3-on-1. Tchaikovsky jumps, and Orleman down on top of the ball. And the save made as Laskowitz quickly back the other way. Drake Smith. Trailer is Goodwin, a swim move. Got as far as the crease before he was stripped. As out of the corner, Tchaikovsky going to try again. He was hit as he was cutting through. Orleman did a good job to both make the save and avoid the body of Tchaikovsky that was flying through towards the crease. Laskowitz. Back up top for Goodwin. Somehow did manage to catch that. Looked like it was going to bounce all the way through, and a moving pick against Connor Goodwin as he got into the back of Sean Darroch. Brooklin Redmen started their season strong, 2-0. 1-1 since then, including the win on Wednesday. Dying moments of the shot clock. Ball rolls into the corner. Kodiaks will play it. The end clock has reset. The one down in our zone did not. It's down to 15 seconds now as Drake Smith retrieves the ball. Give and go here with Albrecht. His shot saved by Higgins as Matt Spanger will run it up over center. With 2 minutes left to go in the period. Eric Gold with it. Shot well wide there by Tutton. He's back in the middle, recovers, and Rowan Kelly takes him down. And it'll be a holding call against Rowan Kelly as Brody Tutton went down on the edge of the crease. Brooklyn has played one less game than Oakville. And Oakville has played one less game than Peterborough. Peterborough leads everybody 5-1. Oakville 4-1. Brooklyn 3-1. And as we said, if Cobourg can get a victory here today, they will jump to 1-3-1, which would be tied with Brampton for the final playoff position. Six Nation Chiefs just 1-4 on the young season. Of course, they got caught with a number of their Rochester Nighthawks players early in the season having the Nighthawks and the Rush play for the NLL title. Patton off the far side, his wrong side though. Snuck in back door, took the shot in on Higgins, where the Redmen will retrieve it. Redmen only missed about one game without a number of their Rush players. And that's who we see not in the lineup today as well. As this will be played to the left side. Shot from Keenan Cook. Minute 4 on the clock. We'll see if Cobourg decides to rush this one with Kluche. Neither team called timeout in that first period, so each bench with both remaining. Smith. Back to the corner here, Laskowitz. Laskowitz is going to run it all the way down with 10 on the clock. Now 5 on the shot clock. Laskowitz cutting back. Laskowitz will shoot. It goes into the corner. And the game clock will stop with 33.4 seconds on it. Brooklyn will keep pushing here. 30 seconds now on their power play with 24 left in the period. Cobourg will get it back. They'll have to do it with a draw, though, as the bouncer gets in behind Orleman. And Brooklyn with a late goal here on the power play in this second period. That makes it 7-3 in favor of the Kodiaks. 18.5 seconds left in our period. Searle and Garland again back to the dot. And you assume that both benches will call timeout, whoever gets possession here off the draw. Assuming there's time. This is a battle here between Searle and Garland. And Capito was looking to the bench to see if they wanted to call timeout, and they just call it from Andrew Ecclestone. Face-off violation against Brooklyn and their coaching staff and players didn't like it, as there will be 9.5 left in the period to see if Cobourg can respond to the late Brooklyn goal to pull within 4. Remind you to subscribe to our channel, as we said in our first period. Couple of Junior A games posted this week. Burlington Chiefs, St. Catharines Athletics, and Burlington Mimico from earlier this week. Something happened to the clock here. There was 9.5. It's gone down to 6.9 where the horn goes. And Cobourg looks like they're going to start up top with Tyler Albrecht. They are going 6-man set. Laskowitz in the middle, Killen. Robinson, Kluche on the far side. Can't quite see who's down on the crease. Might actually... I wanted to say Patton with the orange gloves. But it actually looks like Connor Goodwin now, the 41 and the 11. Looking the same. Quickly into the corner. Killen back up top. Mishandled by Kluche. There is time as this bouncer goes down the floor, but just wide. As Kluche gave chase, but it is a 7-3 lead after 2 periods for the Cobourg Kodiaks. Third period comes your way after this brief timeout on the JVI Sports Network. Quick check of the chat room, and somebody predicts a 13-9 final score here. If that's going to come true, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because we're in for one heck of a third period. Matthew Carrick back for the JVI Sports Network and our crew for Major Series Lacrosse live here on the JVI Sports Network. Cobourg Nissan Kodiaks leading the Brooklyn Redmen 7-3 after 2 periods of play. Chris Kluche has a pair, one on the power play. Steph Charbonneau, his first Major Series Lacrosse goal. Kyle Killen with a pair, one shorthanded. Brandon Robinson and Drake Smith, your goal scorers for Cobourg. Nick Chakowski, Matt Spanger, and Liam Osborne the other way for the Brooklyn Redmen. Gives us a score of 7-3. Orleman has gone the distance. He's now in the net to our left, as LaFontaine takes it from the half-boards. Back up top, the shot there from Cook into the stick of Orleman. Bypassed Holden Garland as Capito will get the quick restart here. Laskowitz to Killen, now Kluche. Around the pick from Goodwin. Kluche to Killen. Robinson in towards the crease, and the first save out of the way for Zach Higgins. Briefly overrun there is Daryl Robertson, who quickly recovers and sends it to Brandon Robinson. And the early goal here in the period, the second for Robinson. Here on the evening, makes it 8-3. Just a matter of housekeeping for you. We saw the score sheet delay earlier on in the second period, and there were 2 players incorrectly listed on the game sheet, so their nights finish early. As now Spanger runs in, that one just past the left foot of Orleman. McMichael runs underneath the rebound. He'll pass to LaFontaine. LaFontaine pick in front from McMichael into the crease of Orleman. And McMichael a slash there on Armstrong. And they call it a crease violation. If he was in the crease with contact made, thought that should have been a penalty, but for the 8th time today, the woos ring out from the crowd here in Cobourg as their team up by 5. Intercepted pass one way, now the other, as it bounces off the stick of Drake Smith in for Joey Capito. Capito will roll it across to Pete Rennie. Rennie struggling to pick it up, eventually just pushes it along the floor to Robinson. 10 on the Kodiak shot clock. Robinson, low drag, spins and fires, and it's into the leg of Derek Suddens, one of the late arrivals for this Brooklyn team. The entire Brooklyn squad was a bit late arriving, as they got here about 35 minutes before game time. Kodiaks were out for unofficial warm-up, and absolutely no sign of anything down the floor prior to this game. Well, that's about the time when story we've been following all night, Chris Kluche had arrived from playing last night in Denver. Charbonneau picks up the ball for Robertson. And Kluche has it again. Kluche far side for Smith. Pick in front by Laskowitz. Laskowitz now rolls towards the net. Shot from Robinson. And the crease violation, as Laskowitz required it one too many steps. 3.5 played here in the third period. 5-goal lead as the Cobourg faithful getting loud again. Outside shot from Chakowski. Bouncing in on Orleman. Searle up, looked like he was going to throw a pick. And now Udding can't pick it up. One of the players that was sent off the floor was this man, number 16, listed as Curtis Knight on our sheet, but also as a scratch. Shot clock down on the floor as it rolls from McMichael into Orleman. Derek Searle will get the transition in for Kluche. Chris Kluche over the top. Shot never got there as it bounced off the leg of a defender. And now Robinson from the crease. Chop on Killen. He goes to Smith, who goes over the shoulder. Oh my, what a goal from Drake Smith. His second of the game to make it 9-3. Drake Smith with a beauty here. 4.5 minutes into our third period. Six-goal lead now for Cobourg. As Searle and Garland continue their face-off battle, it goes to Charbonneau, who sends it all the way back for Capito. Capito, Kluche, Robinson, Laskowitz. Back to the near side now. Goodwin out of the corner. Low shot from Laskowitz. Higgins meets that with the stick. And then Killen got run over. Higgins had the ball, launches it down the floor. And no reaction from the officials there. As Kluche gets the restart. Robinson. Back for Laskowitz. Now Kluche again. Kluche kept to the outside. Kluche one-handing. Goes for that low shot. That time it didn't rise at the end as Higgins went down. But it was enough to reset the shot clock. As Killen has it. Finds the cutter in Laskowitz. Another stick save made by Higgins. Down the floor. And almost looked like it was played there by the players standing on the box in the open door. But the officials allow play to continue with Connor Kiernan. Kiernan has Robertson on him. Cutting through the middle, the shot. A low one. As the Kodiaks will send this down the floor looking for Goodwin. And Goodwin pushed the Brooklyn player back into the crease. As it fell out of his stick, Higgins played it. Cobourg's bench wondering why there's no back-in call. Chop here from Capito. Bounced straight through to Keenan Cook. Mesh rippled, but it was the ball going off the back of the net. So no shot either as we're down to now 5 seconds. A couple spin moves from Kiernan. Low shot. Played there from Liam Osborne. As Riley Campbell will pick up the loose ball and being chased there by Osborne. Campbell all the way into the corner with it. Goodwin for the offense. Kluche, the weak pass in for Robinson. As I'm sure everyone thought that Kluche was going to make that a shot, as he's done so many times already in this game. Down the far side, Mitch McMichael takes a defender with him before going all the way back, and Udding was circling the net and took the shot into the midsection. And Udding's getting an interference penalty. No, it's Liam Patton, sorry. Andrew Ecclestone and Doug Udding. No, it is going to be Udding. Share a chuckle. And that must have happened circling the crease because When I looked down, Utting was busy soaking that pass attempt, but he's back to the box for the second time with 12:43 remaining here in the third period. Our string of Sundays here in Cobourg continues next week, June the 24th, when the Oakville Rock visit the Cobourg Community Center, a game that we'll have live here on the channel, so be sure you're subscribed and have the notification button selected so you'll know every time we go live or post a video from throughout the OLA. McMichael from in the middle spins and fires. It goes off the crossbar, up and out of play. McMichael back into the corner, Tchaikovsky and Kiernan. Kiernan around to pick his shot off the end boards. Capito has Charbonneau with him. Charbonneau, Capito mishandles it as it rolls into the corner. First defender back is Keenan Cook. And it's going to be Charbonneau that steals away from Cook, though. Now Mitch McMichael back on defense. Charbonneau past one, now two defenders, trying to make it three. As McMichael chased him all the way back to the bench, where he was able to get the change. Good kill shift there from Charbonneau. As they were late in the shot clock, he goes for a well-deserved rest. In a rule change in the OLA this year, in major series anyways, where the shot clock does tick down, while killing a penalty up top for Tchaikovsky. To the right side, hard shot by Brody Tutton off the end board. Save made by Orleman as he dropped low. There on the shot from Tutton. Tutton again. This time trying to pass into the corner. Rebound controlled by Capito. And final 25 seconds of the penalty. Kluche has no thoughts of killing it as he cuts back and over the top of Higgins. And Chris Kluche completes the hat trick in style. Double-digit goals for the third time this season for the Cobourg Kodiaks, and second in as many games. Chris Kluche, one on the power play, one shorthanded, and an even strength goal got things started here today to give him the hat trick after scoring 4 last night. Patton trying to make it 11. His bouncer goes off the left glove of Higgins. Cobourg Nissan Kodiaks not comfortable with a 7-goal lead. They want to keep piling it on here against what has been, at least the past couple of seasons, a very impressive team, albeit they are missing about 10 of their regular NLL players today. But a win over Brooklyn is still a win over Brooklyn, especially if you're on the Cobourg Kodiaks bench. And if you were in Brooklyn the other night, again, that 14-12 victory for the Redmen. By most of the accounts I heard, that should have been Cobourg's game. Interception down the floor. Orleman, what a save with the stick. Oh my, everything going Cobourg's way here today. As Orleman, the breakaway save on Ethan's shot. Jordy Jones-Smith picked out of the way now by Connor Goodwin. Can send it into the corner off a stick up into the screening. And we've played half of our third period, and it is a 7-goal lead for the home side, Cobourg Kodiaks. Kiernan takes a bit off the sidearm shot. Rebound fought over in the corner. It's Patton that wins it. Quickly up for Capito, who was trying to find Armstrong, leading the charge. Now Kluche calls for it. LaFontaine, great recognition there. Just as Capito was about to release, ran in front of Kluch. Armstrong being worked over down in the corner. Now Laskowitz gets a stick from Garland. Quickly down the floor. Brooklyn into the corner. Couple whacks there from Utting. Pick from Keenan Cook. Provides a bit of space. And I'm not sure he realized how much he really had as that pass rushed, and it goes high over top of LaFontaine. It's where Derek Searle will get it to start the counterattack now for Cobourg. Killen from the far side, a hard shot save made there by Higgins. Killen will get his own rebound and now work all the way around. Came about halfway and then now circles back underneath the crease as Kluche's low shot goes off the leg and out of play from Zach Higgins. Extended offensive set now for Cobourg. Kluche off, Goodwin on as Robinson here on the far side. Drake Smith took a chop and went down as hard into the corner Brody Tutton, and it's going to give Connor Goodwin the loose ball recovery. Shot from Kluche, right arm save made by Higgins, as this will be Ryan McSpadgen up the floor. Liam Osborne. Osborne around a pick to the far side. McSpadgen will cut back. They tried to get back for Kiernan. It's intercepted. And Derek Searle on the run. He gives to Rowan Kelly. Kelly with no room to run, so he finds Kluche off the bench looking for a low shot. Quick stick there from Laskowitz. And there's 7 minutes left in the third period. A game that Cobourg leads by 7, 10-3. Kluche got the first goal of the game as the shot from Kiernan goes off the right foot of Orleman in a 2-on-1 rush. Here's Hutchison leading it. Trailers Capito. All kinds of time and space, and he gets filled in after the fact. And Capito's down. It is a goal. Hutchison wants a piece of the defender that hit him. And just now starting to move in the net is the NLL Player of the Year, Joey Capito. NLL Transition Player of the Year, pardon me. And the Cobourg Kodiaks captain, Capito. Showing you exactly why he was the NLL Transition Player of the Year. Looks like only the initial penalty on the play to Holden Garland. A 5-minute penalty. (11-3) now in favor of Cobourg. So I don't think it'll be 13-9, but we're only 2 away from that top number, whoever it was in the YouTube chat room. Congratulations. No prize, however, here this evening. Apologize, but there it is. Here's Kluche straight down the pipe. How about 4 on the night? And how about 8 in 2 nights for Chris Kluche? 6 minutes left in the period, and Cobourg bench is loving it, and their fans are loving it as well here in Cobourg. I think it's safe to say now that Cobourg is going to pick up their first win of the season. And if they do that outright, once again, they'll have a game in hand with Brampton, but will jump into a tie, a 1-3-1 record for Cobourg, 1-4-1 for Brampton. Both of those two teams on ahead of the Six Nation Chiefs. We said in that first game, ties in this league always seem to come back to play in the standings. And that may be the case again, as the tie between Brampton and Cobourg would see both of them 1 point ahead of Six Nations. A low riser there again from Kluche, hit Higgins high. And it doesn't look, he hasn't called for a stoppage, but Kluche shaking out the mask a little bit with 5 minutes left here in the period. High shot from Goodwin. That most recent Kluche goal was a power play marker with the major penalty to Holden Garland. Now with just over 3 minutes left in it, Kluche back with it, tries the low shot. Bounces wide off the end boards and heads all the way down the floor. Denver to Toronto, about a 6-hour flight we were trying to guess earlier with a few hours time change. He landed about just after 3 o'clock. And now he's got 4 goals, getting here about 35 minutes before game time. Shot going wide of Orleman. Rebound picked up. Here's Armstrong. Armstrong across center. Flip to the front door. And just over 4 minutes left. Kluche will get it back again. 2.5 left in the major penalty now. 9-goal lead for Cobourg. Kluche sets the pick. Shot from Laskowitz. And all the chances that Laskowitz has had, he's without a goal, one of the only few offensive regulars here tonight. And he'll cause the turnover, Will Laskowitz, as that stick check goes high and ends up bouncing wide of Orleman's cage. Capito also without a goal. As him and Laskowitz, I would say, would be the only two that you would maybe expect there to be one from, with 12 on the board. But as of yet, there is not. Tough night for Brooklyn. Getting late with only 11 players. They had more trickle in as the game went on, as Kluche fakes another shot. A riser there off the end boards. Missing 9 of their NLL regulars, 10 if you include Mike Poulin, who in all likelihood would have played backup goaltender to Zach Higgins here this evening. As LaFontaine gets it. A 9-goal deficit for Brooklyn. It's played back up for LaFontaine. His shot into the Kodiak logo on the chest of Orleman. And now Rowan Kelly will run it towards center. Kelly, Killen, Laskowitz. To Killen to Kluche. Back for Laskowitz. Low shot there off the leg of Suddens. That's 2 or 3 that Suddens has blocked flush in this game. Another player who only played about 2.5 periods. But making them count, I guess, on the defensive side. 2-minute warning here as Brooklyn will try and kill off the remaining 15 seconds of the Garland major penalty. Jump shot from McMichael. He cuts back, but The return feed goes off the leg of Robertson. Hustling towards the net is Cook. His shot saved from Orleman. Tchaikovsky will get it to Garland, who rejoins the floor. Out in front, everybody kind of let up as the shot clock sounded, but the count was down on the floor. As Kiernan sends another one towards the goal that goes off the net, and we'll get an interference call here as Robertson rolled towards the net. And Orleman is called for a timeout here. Looked like he had some sweat in the eye, perhaps. As the mask comes off, and a good night. Lost in all this is the good night for Kevin Orleman. Brooklyn's on offense right now, so I got to be careful as Kiernan takes the shot off the shoulder. And where did the ball go? It ends up in the jersey of Orleman. Going to get offsetting penalties here, it looks like, as Liam Osborne and Pete Rennie got tangled. Both sides and the officials trying to decide who's going to get possession. It was about to go Cobourg's way, which indeed it does, and now with 1:04 left to go, it'll be offsetting on sportsmanlike penalties, minor penalties. We can salute the good night for Kevin Orleman, 3 goals allowed. We don't have the shot totals, but it seems like it's been a relatively busy night. Shot there for Hutchison. High screen sent Ethan Schott to the floor. So final minute here as that was announced. The fans who remain began cheering. Of course, it is Father's Day. Some have gone for an early dinner with Dad, we assume, as Kiernan has that one stolen away. It bypasses the net. Now Orleman will pick it up. 30 seconds left. The Cobourg Kodiaks will pick up their first win of the season, their first home win, as well as Laskowitz will kill out as much of this as they can. 4-goal night now for Chris Kluche, 2 for Killen Robinson and Drake Smith, and 1 in transition for Steph Charbonneau. I've been saying it pretty much all season, when this team, at least on paper, is at full strength, which they're still not tonight, as they're missing Dan Lomas and Nick Finley, Matt Croak, Logan Holmes. They look pretty darn good, which they did here this evening. 12-3 will be your final for the Cobourg Kodiaks over the Brooklin Redmen. And that means Cobourg and Brampton tied ahead of Six Nations and just behind Brooklyn in the MSL standings. Oakville, Peterborough, and still atop 5-1 for Peterborough. Oakville, 4-1 record. Oakville will be here on Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, final reminder to subscribe to our channel and make sure you've got notifications turned on as we bring you lacrosse from all over Ontario all year long. Our director and producer tonight has been Gary Morrison. On behalf of them and our JVI Sports Network crew, we thank you for tuning in. Hope to talk to you next time.